Hi, this is Brian Yates on DIY Like a Master. Last time, on the last video, we touched on drum parking brakes. Well, I thought, okay, maybe we put the cart before the horse. So I'm going to show you what drum brakes were. Kind of explain because before disc brakes, there were drum brakes. So we're going to pull this drum off and we're going to show you what the difference and why they call them drum brakes, and give you a little bit of information about it so that at least you know where drum brakes are and where they came from, and little tips about it. Hold on. All right. Okay. Here we see drum brakes. There's the drum. Inside we had the shoes just like we had on the parking brakes. Big difference that we're going to see on these drum brakes is in here there's a hydraulic cylinder right there. Light that up so you can see it. There is a hydraulic cylinder right there. Okay, it's called a drum brake cylinder. What that does, it has a little push rod on each side. You can't hardly see because of the springs. Goes right in there and pushes on the cylinder, wheel cylinder there, and right here. And when that hit the brakes on this, it pushes out on these shoes, causing the shoe to go out, touch the drum on this side, touch the drum on this side, stopping the vehicle, creating friction. And we have our return springs just like we did on the parking brake. Okay, the biggest difference is going to be the wheel cylinder. Underneath, get under here. Okay, there again, we have our adjuster. But on hydraulic brakes, drum brakes, we have a self-adjuster. When you hit this, it can self-adjust this and keep it tight to the drum, keeping the efficiency of the brakes. And one thing you're going to notice on drum brakes, the shoe liners. The front one is called a primary. You'll notice it has a large area right here. It's not shoe. And the area down here, it's not shoe, but the shoe goes along this surface right here. This is called the primary shoe. This always goes to the front of the vehicle. Back here we have the secondary shoe. You'll see it's got a shorter distance here at the top. And then again down here, another short distance down here. This is the secondary shoe. It always goes to the back of the vehicle. So now that we've touched basics, right here is your parking brake lever. And you'll see the cable comes in here, goes to the back, right here in the drum. And if we can get in here and see it, comes in the drum, right down there, all the spider web, and it attaches to that arm. When you pull the parking brake, just like on the parking brakes with the disc, it pushes it out, moves this rod across, pushes this shoe out, right here, and then your parking brake sets. Unlike on the drum brake, for the disc brakes, this one does not have to have a special separate adjustment. As long as the brakes are adjusted properly, when you pull the parking brake, it will set the brakes. When you use what they call a service brake, which is the pedal, the hydraulics make the brakes work, and it slows you down and stops you. Okay? Well, I hope that gives you a general idea of what drum brakes really are and where they came into play. In the 70s, these came in as drum brakes were only on the rear of a vehicle, but from about 67 and older, earlier vehicles, they were drum brakes all the way around. So, anytime you're going to do brakes, remember your camera on your phone is your best friend. And what I always recommend, if you've never done drum brakes before, is you take your camera and you take pictures of all these springs and cables and cable guides, hold down nails and springs, adjusters, You know, your adjuster, self-adjuster, which hooks to that cable, by the way. You know, take pictures of all this stuff where every spring goes. Why? Because when you take this all off, you have a mess. And a lot of times you go out here and you take it apart and you say, okay, now how do I put it back together? The other second thing I tell people is if you do the right side, leave the left side on. That way you have a guide. It's backwards with this one, but you still have a guide. So if you don't have a camera, do one side at a time. If you do have a camera, take pictures. Make sure everything goes back the way it was when you started. Okay, this is Brian at DIY Like a Master. Always give us a like and a subscribe. And we thank you, and you have a nice day.